What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. We have hit 4K. I just like to thank everyone who supported me on this channel, and hopefully I make good content in the future. Anyways, I had to only put pictures on this video because it might get flagged, so I'm sorry about that, but it's gonna be a good one regardless, because in this video I'll be talking about random debuts. Now, it's not random debuts as in superstar debuts, but when in foreign object like Triple H's sledgehammer or Stone Cold drinking beer debut. On to the first thing, Stone Cold drinking beer. Now, we all know that Stone Cold is a beer drinking foul-mouthed SOB, but when did this start? December of '97. During a match between The Rock and Vader, Stone Cold came out to the ring in a pickup truck and sat on the top of the hood where he cracked a cold one. This is the first time on WWE TV that Steve Austin drank beer. From there on, he would occasionally drink beer until late 1998, where he drank beer on nearly every episode of Raw. The Rock in early 1998 was changing every week, starting to raise his eyebrow, starting to alter his moveset, starting to speak differently, and he started to say a well-known catchphrase: "If you smell what The Rock is cooking." The Rock started uttering those words in a WrestleMania 14 interview. The Rock low-key said those words as if they were nothing, but then he'd begin to realize that it's a good catchphrase later on that year. Mankind in 1998 was going through a transitional time, starting to make jokes, being more human basically. Another notable addition to his arsenal was a damn sock, Mr. Socko. Mankind would debut the sock on the October 5th, 1998 episode of Raw, where he visited Mr. McMahon in the hospital. From there, the fans of the crowd would bring a sock with them and started to chant Socko. Mankind would turn into a tweener and a month later a fan favorite, and he would win the WWF Championship on the January 4th, 1999 episode of Raw. Triple H in 1999 was the leader of DX. That would all change at WrestleMania 15 when Triple H turned on X-Pac and joined the corporation along with China. Triple H would ditch his long tights for trunks, a move that helped him enter the main event scene. On the May 17th episode of Raw, The Rock was in a casket match against The Undertaker when Triple H interfered and cost The Rock the match. After the match, Triple H brought a sledgehammer and smashed the casket with The Rock in it. From there, Triple H would take out Mankind with the sledgehammer 2 weeks later and started using it occasionally until the feud with Cactus Jack, where he started using it on a regular basis. Another fact about Triple H is that in 2000, Triple H was the Game, and he came out to the song My Time. But after the forklift incident, Triple H returned in 2001 with a new song. The song is obviously The Game by Motorhead. That debuted on the January 15, 2001 episode of Raw. To this day, this is still Triple H's theme song. The RKO is known as Randy Orton's signature move and has been used by Orton since like forever. But when the hell did it debut? June 9th, 2003. During a match against the Hurricane, Orton used the cutter to win the matchup. From there, it was his finishing move and was used to win several world championships. Shawn Michaels was known for wearing tights with the knee pads matching the tights, but suddenly HBK changed his attire and started wearing baggy pants. When did the change occur? WrestleMania 21. When WrestleMania went Hollywood, Michaels found the perfect time to alter his attire as he was going to do battle against Kurt Angle. By the way, that was a legendary matchup. John Cena in late 2002 became a rapper basically, and he sided with B Square. Cena would start rapping and ridiculing the opponent. After Cena got injured, he returned on the March 27, 2003 episode of SmackDown. Cena returned and debuted the song Basic Thuganomics. During his match against Rikishi, Cena hit the FU for the first time as a jab to Brock Lesnar, whose finisher was the F5. Cena would start using the FU as his finisher, and years later, it would be renamed to the Attitude Adjustment due to WWE going PG. Christian was known for being a tag team specialist, a former Intercontinental Champion, a European Champion, a Hardcore Champion. But in 2003, after winning a Battle Royal to become the new Intercontinental Champion, Christian took The Rock's advice and started to change. He would change his look, he would change his haircut, he would change his clothes, and he would get a new ring attire on the May 19, 2003 episode of Raw. During this time, Christian was a two-time Intercontinental Champion, and he later transitioned into Captain Charisma a year and a half later. Edge from 2001 to 2004 came out to the song Never Gonna Stop Me. When Edge was going to turn heel, he debuted the song Metalingus on the November 1st, 2004 episode of Raw. From there, Edge would begin his rise to the main event at WrestleMania 21 by winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. At WrestleMania 21, Batista won the World Heavyweight Championship, and he started to come out to the ring with Pyro and a new theme song. Well, first of all, the Pyro first came on the April 11, 2005 episode of Raw, and I Walk Alone debuted on the May 30th, 2005 episode of Raw. Kurt Angle in 2005 debuted the Mouthpiece. Yeah, I know this is an obscure observation, but for those of you who do want to know when he debuted it during his rivalry with Cena in late 2005. If you're looking for the exact date that he debuted the Mouthpiece, well, September 12, 2005 is the date. Kurt Angle would have many variations of the Mouthpiece mouthpiece, red, white, and blue, and even an ECW one. Kurt Angle eventually left the WWE the next year and debuted in TNA. Randy Orton started to change in 2007. He started to change his Legend Killer gimmick to the Viper one. Orton started to use the Punk kick, which he debuted by punting Michaels. Second, Orton started to wear black wrist tape instead of white on the July 2nd, 2007 episode of Raw, and he got a buzz cut to complete the look. The entrance song was still Burning My Light, but that would change as Orton would come out to the theme song Voices by Rev Theory on the May 12, 2008 episode of Raw. Orton would suffer an injury at One Night Stand and would be out for 4 months. When Orton returned in September, he returned with new tattoos, with full sleeves, and Orton would go on to form a faction with Manu, who got kicked out anyways, Sim Snuka, who's barely in the group, Ted DiBiase, and Cody Rhodes, and he would kickstart a new day in the WWE. Yeah, I know, that's a stupid line, I know. Big Show is known for ending his matches with the KO punch. We all know that in Big Show's first run, he didn't have that move in his arsenal. So, when did he debut the KO punch? During his feud with Floyd Mayweather, Big Show debuted the KO punch. Do you want to know exactly when he debuted it? Well, that was on the March 17, 2008 episode of Raw. Big Show debuted the KO punch on Chris Jericho to win the match. From there on, it was his finisher of choice. When Y2J Chris Jericho returned in late 2007, he was trying to alter his character. First, Jericho debuted a new finisher called the Codebreaker. Chris debuted the Codebreaker on the November 26, 2007 episode of Raw. Eddie turned heel later in 2008 by throwing HBK Shawn Michaels through the Jeritron 5000. Jericho would take out Michaels at the Bash and would start having a protege by the name of Lance Cade, who was a 3-time World Tag Team Champion. Jericho would not mention Y2J or even talk like Y2J, and he would wear suits instead of t-shirts. Jericho at the time was everything opposite of Y2J, the way he spoke, the way he walked, even the clothes he wore, everything. Jericho would ditch his tights in favor of trunks. This change would occur on the August 4, 2008 episode of Raw. From there, Jericho would turn into a main eventer during this time, belonging to the top of WWE. And that's it for this video. I might do a part 2 of this video. It's popular. I really want to do a many reinventions of Chris Jericho video. I want to do Jericho. I want to do Legacy. I want to do a lot of things, but one at a time, as you know. And make sure you hit the code breaker on the like button, and perhaps you should hit the RKO on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.